Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
Welcome to Caribbean Perspective. So glad you can join us. The story that dominates in today's edition for Friday, 7th November 2025, and brought to you in association with our friends at Antillean Group. Guyana's PPPC administration referred to as dictatorial by presumptive opposition leader. Details after this important message.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all perils big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so glad to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
Is now upon us, so we as Caribbean people need to remember to think safety and be prepared. Avoid venturing outside during a storm or hurricane, especially if there are strong winds. Rooftops and other debris are often blown about and can cause great damage.
Welcome back. Presumptive opposition leader in Guyana and We Invest in Nationhood Win Party leader Azruddin Mohammed has sharply criticized the ruling People's Progressive Party Civic PPPC over what he described as a dictatorial approach to the election of the Speaker and Deputy Speaker of the 13th Parliament. Antonio Day of HGP Nightly News reports.
Following the re-election of Speaker Manson Adair and the election of Deputy Speaker Dr. Fisher Mahadio for the 13th Parliament by the ruling People's Progressive Party Civic, presumptive leader of the opposition Azruddin Mohammed is adamant that the role of Deputy Speaker could have been afforded to his party, We Invest in Nationhood. When the 13th Parliament convened on Monday, 17 parliamentarians voted for Tabitha Sarah-Brohali as Deputy Speaker, while 36 voted in favor of Dr. Mahadio. Mr. Mohammed has dubbed the election process as
we all can see that the PPP is a full-blown dictatorship party. They want one state control everything. And I know this would have been the end result.
Mohammed, also an elected member of parliament, vowed to hold the government accountable, especially when it fails to deliver its promises to the Guyanese people.
And I will ensure a fight to the end to ensure that I hold them accountable for every single thing they're doing.
At the level of the National Assembly, Mr. Mohammed noted that he's open to working with the other opposition parties, a partnership for national unity and for Guyana, in the best interest of the citizens. However, while Mohammed was sworn in as a member of parliament, clerk of the National Assembly, Sherlock Isaacs provided an update on the process of electing the leader of the opposition.
The Constitution doesn't say when the meeting is to be held. Is it the first sitting or second sitting or third sitting? It's at the discretion of the Speaker. What happened in this case, Mr. Mohammed wrote the Speaker. The Speaker sent the letter to me to acknowledge that we received receipt of the letter and to inform Mr. Mohammed that his request is receiving attention.
Antonio Day reporting for the AGP Nightly News.
Hurricane Melissa has left a staggering $6 to $7 billion in damage in Jamaica. And Prime Minister Andrew Holness says that's a very conservative estimate. CBC's Crystal Height is in Jamaica, where many people are trying to get on with their lives.
Across western Jamaica, the scenes are heartbreaking. Children line the roadways, their hands outstretched, pleading for help. Long lines wind outside Western Union offices as residents wait patiently to collect money from relatives abroad. Piles of debris litter the streets, reminders of homes and lives upended. The cleanup is massive, and for many, rebuilding has only just begun. Jamaicans are trying to adjust to a new reality in the wake of Hurricane Melissa. But for Antonio Mullings, moving forward is especially difficult. He's mourning the loss of his brother, who died on Tuesday during the storm.
Feel bad.
bad. Police never came. When the road was black, the police could look in. About 2 days after, before they get to the body. And 3 blocking up, then could get to move a body right away. We don't bury at it, you know.
Mullings also recounted the events of that tragic day.
I have to move from place to other places. And the whole of the animal we have in the door shed tear off. Goat. Lose a couple of them, about 5 of them. He move from film building to another building. And a glass come and cut him and shoot. Fly and cut him and shoot. And drop and die.
He described his brother, a father of 2, as a good man and spoke about the bond they shared.
Close. Every week we see each one of them. Every week talking to each one of them.
He says he will deeply miss his only brother, his best friend. As of tonight, the death toll from Hurricane Melissa in Jamaica stands at 32. Reporting from Jamaica, Crystal Hoyt, CBC News.
U.S. President Donald Trump weighs in on the Venezuela crisis, discussing potential strategies and responses amid rising geopolitical tensions. Meanwhile, Hegseth reports the 16th strike on a ferry boat in the Pacific, raising concerns about maritime security and regional stability. We on News has more.
Tensions between the United States and Venezuela are refusing to die down. U.S. President Trump is weighing in his options, planning to hit Venezuela where it would hurt its supply chain and possibly aim to fracture the network, what Trump administration calls narco-terrorists. Washington, D.C. has developed a range of options for military action in Venezuela, including direct attacks on military units that protect President Nicolas Maduro and moves to seize control of the country's oil fields. President Trump has yet to make a decision about how or even whether to proceed. According to the New York Times, Trump's aides have asked the Justice Department for additional guidance that could provide a legal basis for any military action beyond the current campaign of striking boats. Such a memo would include targeting Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro without creating the need for congressional authorization for the use of military force. The Justice Department has not given any confirmation about this development. In a recent interview, when Trump was asked whether Maduro's days as a president were numbered, Trump responded saying, an affirmative yes. There has been a steady build-up of U.S. troops in the Caribbean since late August. The Pentagon has also dispatched B-52 and B-1 bombers from bases in Louisiana and Texas to fly missions off the coast of Venezuela. If given options for its military campaign, the first option might involve airstrikes against military facilities. So if Maduro believed he was no longer protected, he might seek to flee or end moving around the country. A second approach envisions the United States sending special operations forces such as the Army's Delta Force or the Navy's SEAL Team 6 to try to capture Maduro. The U.S. already has a $50 million reward for Maduro's arrest. A third option involves a much more complicated plan to send U.S. counter-terrorism forces to seize control of airfields and at least some of Venezuela's oil fields and infrastructure. These last two options carry much greater risks to American commandos on the ground and pose an even greater threat to Venezuelan citizens. This being the reason why Trump has not given approval to carry a military operation in the South American country. While Trump weighs in options, neighboring countries like Brazil are urging de-escalating and dialogue between Caracas and Washington.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick, in association with our friends at
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
Antigua and Barbuda's Prime Minister Gaston Brown has reiterated calls for the region to remain a zone of peace, as he urges fellow Caribbean leaders to unite in insisting the region does not become the latest flashpoint in geopolitical rifts. His comments on Tuesday came as tensions continue to escalate between the United States and Venezuela. The Prime Minister insists that his calls are aimed at protecting national interests.
We're defending our national interests, and it is not in our national interests for any form of military action to take place within this hemisphere because of the disproportionate impacts that will take place. And I'll state here too that though we're small and vulnerable, we should not be afraid to stand on the truth. And if there are going to be consequences standing on the truth, let it be so. But at the end of the day, history will absolve us.
The Bahamas' central bank governor John Roll released this latest quarterly review of the economy on Monday, and ZNS's Fern Carey reports.
Governor of the central bank John Roll revealing that the domestic economy continued to expand over the first 9 months of the year, although the pace of that growth was slower than last year. He indicated that tourism and sustained foreign direct investment also remain the main drivers of that growth, while overall tourism earnings increased at a slower rate during the same period in 2024.
This softening was largely concentrated in reduced consumer confidence and stopover demand originating from the United States, which eclipsed a significant boost in non-U.S. demand, particularly from Canada. Despite continued robust gains in cruise inflows, projected stopover earnings were almost unchanged from the previous year. In particular, estimated hotel room revenues decreased over the comparative periods, in contrast to a healthy earnings growth for vacation rentals.
Regarding the impact of Hurricane Melissa on projections for the final quarter of 2025, Roll assured that there is no cause for concern.
We do anticipate that there will be, some impact on the fiscal and on economic activity in those areas, but we don't think we're at the level where it will alter significantly the economic performance in the last quarter of the year.
The hotel sector also saw slightly lower occupancy levels during the third quarter, while vacation rentals strengthened.
What has been quite interesting in the Bahamas is that the year over year, the number of new listings for vacation rental has been steadily increasing. And so that's also sustaining some of the growth that we're seeing. In the hotel sector, we haven't seen any noticeable change in terms of the volume of rooms that are available.
The central bank governor revealed that projected stopover visitor earnings were unchanged during the first 9 months of the year compared to the same period in 2024. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Fern Carey.
Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, revealed that he has received an online threat to his life as the campaign reaches high gear for November 27th general election. More in this SVG TV news item.
Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves revealed today that he has received an online threat but said he is not fazed by it. Speaking on Boom FM, Prime Minister Gonsalves told the host that he was alerted to the threat while on his way to the radio station earlier in the day.
Morning. My security officers gave me this thing. You can read it. Somebody online is saying that somebody who calls himself or herself Arthur Jean.
Arthur Jean.
If they don't win, meaning no.
If NDP don't win,
execution style for Ralph. And somebody from his Weiberg replied, Arthur Jean. I hope the police department and the authorities in St. Vincent and Grenadines see your reply and arrest you. And then I have another note which was sent. So, but none of this frightens me,
But these are death threats, execution style for you, meaning that you will be executed.
Well, Bing, I have lived more years than I have remaining left to live. All that can happen to me is that my time on earth is slightly accelerated. That's all. So none of these things worry me. None of them.
You're not fazed at all by these things?
Absolutely not.
The revelation comes as the political climate intensifies ahead of the upcoming general elections to be held on November 27, 2025. Dr. Gonsalves noted that this was not the first time he had received death threats during his political career. When asked about the security measures currently in place, he declined to provide details, citing security reasons, but acknowledged that he also has a duty to protect himself and his family.
Does your security go up even more? Your family, how do they feel? The people are close around you?
I wouldn't tell you that either.
You won't tell me that either?
No.
Why? For security reasons again?
Clearly.
Clearly. Okay.
I have an obligation, even before I talk about other people have an obligation to protect me.
Right.
I have an obligation to protect my family.
Right.
I have an obligation to ensure that there is reasonable protection for those whom I assess may be subject to certain threats.
The Prime Minister stressed that the threat would not deter him from carrying out his duties or change his outgoing personality. Dr. Gonzalez also condemned recent acts of vandalism, including the destruction of political billboards in West Kingstown and on Beckway, calling on citizens to refrain from violent or politically motivated damage.
I am Eddie Frederick, wishing you a restful weekend. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for daily regional news and more, in association with our friends at Antillian Group.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all, perils big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.